Fred, Casey Johnson, Chicago Tribune. What was your message to the team just now after this game?
Well, obviously, very disappointing way for it to end. The one thing I did talk to him is, how proud I am of him for finding a way to pull together and play our best basketball at the end of the season when it mattered most to get us into the postseason. The other thing we talked about was, how important those games in December and January are, so you're not in this position to where you have home court. It's obviously a different scenario, a different situation when that happens. But I did praise them about how well we played down the stretch, especially when we were at full strength. Obviously got off to a great start in the series, but couldn't finish it off. So, we'll get together again tomorrow, meet individually with each of the players, and lay out some expectations for the summer.
Fred, Joe Colley, Chicago sometimes. I mean, it's easy to just look at the series and say, up 2-0, Rondo goes down, series goes out the window. Was there more to it, though, than just that was going on these last 4 games? I mean, it just seemed Jimmy's injury and just defensive breakdowns and everything that we saw were lows during the regular season kind of showed itself these last 4 games.
Yeah, big thing about that, Joe, was, we got off to poor starts in pretty much every game after the first 2. We found a way to bounce back and make it close, and then took a lead into the half in those 2 wins. It's something where, obviously if you get off to a poor start, you're climbing uphill, you're spending a lot of energy. Turnovers were an issue in this series, and they turned around, the physical battle where they got us in the glass. And, after the first 2 games where we dominated in that category, that cost us.
Coach Pat Benkowski, I want to ask you about contrasting the playoff series versus the regular season. Was this a different looking Celtic team to you, or was it the same club?
No, not at all. They're a very skilled basketball team with 5 players out on the floor that can make a play and make a shot. It's a tough team to guard with the actions they run with all those skilled players. So no, it's the same team that we knew they were in the regular season. And they showed why they were 1 seed. And again, we got off to a great start in the series, obviously, but couldn't finish off the deal.
Fred, Nick Friedel, ESPN. Are you hopeful that Gar and Pax pick up Rondo's option this summer?
Well, Nick, obviously we played great basketball with Rajon, towards the end of the season. I think, with the exception of the New York game, was the game that he got hurt. That's the game he tore the ligament in the wrist. Didn't play the last quarter and a half. And then the Brooklyn game that we lost, other than that, we won every game down the stretch. And obviously the 2 games he was healthy in the first round of the playoffs, we won those with Rondo healthy. So, he was terrific. He was great. The highs and lows that we had this season, he found a way to continue to battle through that, and again play his best basketball when it mattered most. I love Rondo. I love coaching him. I love everything about the kid. He just he was so good to have out there on the floor. And when we put him back in the starting lineup, with Nico, with Jimmy. We got a lot accomplished. We played an exciting style of basketball, a fun style of basketball to watch, a fun style of basketball to coach, and Rajon was responsible for a lot of that.
Fred, Vince Gill will see us in Chicago. Did you see any correlation between the Celtics' physicality affecting you guys mentally as the game wore on, that they sort of took the fight out of you in a big picture standpoint?
Well, again, Vince, it was just we got off to such a poor start. The game, second quarter and obviously in the third quarter where they put the game away. And again, we talked about a lot of things coming out of halftime. About climbing back in the game, which we had done. The first 2 times that we played in this building. They buried us coming out in the third quarter, and it's unfortunate that we couldn't find a way to climb back.
Fred, Joe Colley again. Late in the game, obviously the fans were angry, upset, or whatever. There were chants of fire Hoiberg. Do you hear that stuff? And secondly, do you understand the frustration that Bulls fans were feeling throughout this season? I mean, at times this team played really well, and at times it looked like it was below expectations.
Sure, I understand the frustration. It was a frustrating game. There's no doubt about that, to go out this way. And again, the high note to start this series, the way we got off to a 2-0 lead, and we couldn't finish it off. And again, I thought we fought and battled, especially, in the Game 5 in Boston. We didn't have it tonight. So yeah, I do understand.
Fred, did you feel, obviously Jimmy's physical struggles were well documented. Do you feel that were you having conversations with him during the game? Was he battling it pretty badly throughout the game? And also, did Dwayne come out of this game banged up? It looked like he was getting attention a couple times.
It looked like he, got the elbow caught a little bit again. Looked like he banged his leg a little bit as well. That's one thing, people don't realize how banged up Jimmy was. You talked about the fourth quarter in the last game getting 2 shots. A lot of that was just because of his limitations, trying to get the ball at the floor against Avery Bradley. He felt a little bit better today. He got treatments throughout the day yesterday and all day today, to put himself in a position to go out there and fight for his teammates. It's just, he even went back in the back to get worked on after we subbed him out that first time. But I'm telling you, Jimmy's a warrior. He battled, he fought all the way through, even though he wasn't 100%.
Fred, Mike McGraw, Daily Herald. You guys went 9-2 in that stretch before Rondo got hurt. Do you see that as a legitimate reason to feel optimistic about this team's future?
Well, again, the way we were playing, I think since the trade, the 29 games, we had 16 threes. 16 of those 29 games, we had 10 or more threes, and Rondo was a big part of that, getting into the paint, getting us out with pace. Having guys run with him, we lost that when he went out. We lost, the opportunity to get easy baskets, which he did a great job of for us. So yeah, I mean, again, loved everything about what Rajon gave us. Again, we peaked and played our best basketball at the end, and he was a huge part of that.
Cody Westerlund with 670. Off seasons always bring change. What type of players or areas do you guys need to add for the Bulls to play basketball like you want them to, the style of play?
Well, we'll see how that all works out, Cody. I mean, the big part of the process right now, we'll start with, obviously, with draft preparation and start targeting free agents and, obviously having conversations about, which guys come back as far as our free agents are concerned. So, we'll see. That process will just, obviously is just starting, tomorrow.
Hike in the Athletic. What kind of growth that you see from Nico this season, and will you want him to be back next year? Or
I thought Nico. I thought he battled defensively. I thought he made big strides. I thought he made growth on that end of the floor. Obviously he shot the ball at a very high rate the last month of the season to help us put us in the position of playing in the postseason. So yeah, Nico. Again, he fought through some highs and lows this season, but I thought finished on a high note in the regular season. Thank you.